Yo, we just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the four ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.
I already pushed okay. Relax. I've tried to do my intro and you screwed it up. Forget it. Ladies and gentlemen, I've tried. Karu doesn't stop talking. This is brutal. But finally, guys, a year and a half in the making, I finally have KPK on the show. And it's all thanks to Abu. Because he did it. He
Thank
helped
you.
out.
I'll
But
take all that.
if I
Pat
had
on the
gone
back,
if I had gone to
everyone. Pat
Haroon as well, if I had gone to Haroon, I probably would have made this happen. So next time
Way
I know what to
earlier.
go through. But regardless, from the top, we have Haroon, we have Ahmed, we have Abu, and we have Karu. Ladies and gentlemen, KPK, finally welcome to Straight Talk Wrestling. Gentlemen, how are you?
Kelly.
Great.
Good,
Very,
good.
very good.
Yeah, living la vida loca.
Oh my God. All right. So first thing I want to talk about is the origins of KPK. Factions in Ontario indie wrestling are few and far between. There's a couple of factions, but really, honestly and truly, you guys, Dynasty, I would say Empire, these are the factions that are kind of taking shape and holding things down in the Ontario indie scene. Who decided that this was going to be who decided that this faction was going to be a thing? Who was the, I guess, brainchild behind it? Was it all of you guys collectively together, or was it just start off with one person and then it just kind of gradually we added members?
Take it away,
Whoever-
Ahmed.
So
Yeah, it was
it
good.
started off with Haroon and I. One day in practice, back when we were being coached by Asylum, also known as Stone Rockwell, he had us doing tag matches, and I went to the one other Pakistani guy in class, Haroon, and we just right off the bat had really good chemistry. And we started talking because, at the time we didn't have any gimmicks. I actually remember distinctly Haroon in class saying that he was undecided on his gimmick. He made a whole promo about how he's undecided.
That was
It's
my
the worst
ring name.
promo ever. But I didn't want him to be undecided anymore. So I was like, hey, bro, you and I can be like a Pakistani tag team. And it was Haroon and I who came up with, we at least settled on KPK. It was Haroon and I who also settled on Satisfya by Imran Khan as our entrance music. So it started off as just me and Haroon, but also when I started, in fact, maybe my first class, if not one of my first classes, Abu approached me after class randomly, never spoke to me before. I wasn't even 100% sure if he knew proper English. Comes up to me and he's like, "Oh, hey, are you driving towards Scarborough? Because I need a ride home." And I wanted to be nice, so I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I'll drive you home." And that was basically how Abu and I's friendship started. Because I feel like now I'm at the point where it feels weird going home from practice without Abu. I will go out of my way to drop Abu off because I just love having him in the car. And once Haroon and I were doing our thing, I looked at Abu and I'm like, "Yo, Abu, you should be with us. It'd be so cool if we tagged. We drive together all the time. Me and Haroon have such a good chemistry together. In fact, I'm pretty sure he was in the KPK group chat before he was officially in KPK because we just knew one day it was going to happen, and it ended up happening. So that's how we got Abu in. And Karu, I feel like it always made sense because since the beginning, Karu's been I've been compared to Karu, for obvious reasons. And one day, we needed someone to fill in for Haroon because Haroon very recently got hurt. What was it, like a torn ACL?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we needed someone to replace Haroon for a trios match, and we went to the man himself. We went to Karu, and thankfully Karu, I guess, trusted us enough to finally join our ranks. We cut a promo after the Free Palestine show that Flair's put together. I remember that promo was fucking hilarious. Just filming it was so fun. And I knew from that moment that this was a great idea, that the four of us, we were meant to be a faction. And it's been super fun ever since.
Real times.
Sorry, it was a very long-winded answer.
No, it was a great answer. Great answer. Eloquent, very eloquently spoken. So Haroon, real quick before I get into Ahmed's whole origin story, how is recovery going for you? How is the injury? Are we fully healed? Are we ready to get back in the ring full time? What's happening with you?
Oh, it's been going fantastic. I mean, I tore my ACL entirely end of June, and then I thankfully ended up getting surgery end of November. So I spent about 5 months with it. Was doing a little bit of prehab during that time because I didn't want to just sit around and, let all that muscle go to waste or just like, not be active. So we are doing a little bit of prehab, which is what you do before surgery. So it's this kind of rehab that is done while you're waiting for like, your surgery or your procedure to happen. And ever since the surgery, it's been about, I think, 11 weeks now. Just been doing rehab, man, weekly, a couple days a week, spend about an hour or two doing it. And I'm really keeping up with it. So I think I should be good by the summer, by like July, like August at the latest, to like get back in the ring and like actually, be like fully in matches. But it's gonna be a phased process because I can start probably training like end of May, early June, and then like step by step, like, get into like training fully again, knock off that ring rust and then get back in the ring, start working full length matches towards like the tail end of the summer. So but I'm doing pretty good right now. Like the range of motion's back, and I don't know if you've been watching, but accompanying the boys, to some of the shows, managing and stuff, trying to stay around, keep maintaining that and also improving that group dynamic, right? In whichever way I can, even if I can't fully, lace up a pair of boots and get going. But yeah, it's going good, man. Thank you for asking.
Oh, no problem, man. Honestly, I love the juxtaposition of everybody. There's definitely everyone has the ability to be symmetry in motion together as a unit, but everyone has their own individuals in terms of their individual characters, their individual spotlight, which is so great. So you guys have earned success as a unit, but you've also earned success individually. I mean, Karu, obviously, history, battle arts. We know the history. I mean, this guy was the first ever battle arts champion. That's a big deal. That's huge. I mean, there have been better battle arts champions since then, but
Whoa, why you
oh,
capping?
I disagree.
Yeah.
For the
You're funny.
record, I disagree with that.
I know
Yeah,
you do.
thank
I know
you.
you do. I only say it because this guy breaks my balls every single time we see each other. So it's
You don't
very
even have
rare
balls to
that I
break.
get the op. Well, actually, I do because I have two children, so they came from somewhere. Okay, buddy. That's all I'm going to say there. But he busts my chops all the time, so it's very rare I get a chance to. But Haroon, I'm honestly glad that the recovery is going great, and look forward to seeing you back inside the
Thank you.
ring. But even having the management role and the juxtaposition that you guys have, like I'm going to pose this question to the main event Poppy, of course. When you guys have the ability to switch up pieces like a chessboard, you have a chance to be okay. This is who we're facing. This dynamic of say Karu and Abu would be good together, or a Haroon and Ahmed could do work well here, or Karu and Ahmed. Like there's so many different pieces. When you're going into each individual match or booking, do you guys get booked as the unit? Or do you get booked as, we just want KPK and you guys decide which members kind of go where depending on the match?
It depends on like what the promoter wants. So like usually the
Yeah.
promoter will ask for, let's say, Ahmed and I, if it's a tag match. And then like if Crew's in the area, we'll ask Crew to come by. If Haroon's in the area, we'll ask Haroon to come by. And then like they could like accompany us or whatever. And then if it's a trio, obviously we can only do Crew right now. So Ahmed, Crew, and I. But when Haroon comes back, then we can like play around with that, and it's super cool having like a bunch of people that you can like you said, like a chessboard where you could rotate around. Because then it's, I don't know, man, 6-man tags are just so much fun. Like we'll be on the apron, just like something will be going on in the ring. Let's say, or like we'll do our entrance, and Crew's just like this super stoic guy, and I'm just trying to crack him up the entire time, and Crew's looking at me like I can see him about to break, and we get to the back, and he's like, bro, fuck you. He's like, you guys like. It's just so much fun. It's like fucking around in there. So like, yeah, it depends on what the promoter wants, and then based on that, we'll fit in everyone else too.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Karu, you're the veteran of
Yes,
the
sir.
group. You're the man who's been, in this industry, in this craziness for a very long time. Was it easy to join the ranks of these three young talented gentlemen, or was it something that you kind of had to mull over?
Honestly, it was easy. Like at first I had doubts, obviously. You're always gonna have your doubts. But after knowing them personally, like it was a done deal. Like the good thing is we actually know each other personally too. So it's not like we just know each other through wrestling. Like we'll hang out after practice or after shows. Like we'll go grab food. Like we'll talk to each other. Like we'll do extracurricular activities. So it's not like I'm just a random guy going into a random group. And like and like what you guys are saying about chess pieces and perfect dynamic, and we all do bring our own little aura, our own little presence, our own little like charisma to the group, which makes all of us work extremely well together. And it's fun. Like They tease me, I tease them.
Whoa.
Like our group chats are
Whoa,
always.
whoa.
No, my bad, but like, shit, I don't even know what to say no more. But like, yeah,
I was
like,
gonna add, like, sometimes, like, the shows are always fun, but the car rides there and back are like even more
Yeah.
fun.
Car rides are the
God.
best. Like us
It's just
sports
so lit.
specific.
We
When
just can't
Haroon's
have
there, man, it's
Haroon
amazing.
playing music.
What's
Haroon
that?
can't
Yeah,
play
no,
music.
man. Oh my
Haroon
God.
cannot. It's 4 men and he plays lover
The
music.
most
How you playing lover
seductive
music
music
with
ever.
4 men?
So
Like,
seductive. I'm like sleeping in the back. I'm like, what the hell is
That's how I
playing
earned my
right now,
nickname,
bro?
right? Ahmed, you gotta tell
He's
them.
like, yo,
Haroon's
Joe,
listen, guys, listen. Haroon's a man of many names. You know, the Karachi driver. I remember one time he was the attack dog of KPK. But there's one name in particular. There's one name in particular that I feel like he needs to stick to from here on out, especially knowing what he is like.
I don't want to hear
He's the
this shit,
soft
bro.
lover.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind. I thought you were gonna say
He is.
something else.
No,
Soft
he's
lover's
the soft
good.
lover of
Soft lover's
KPK.
good.
Wow. So would you say he's like like remember when
He's the Drake.
Mark Henry had sexual chocolate? Would you say Haroon is the sexual chocolate of KPK?
Yes,
The Pakistani version.
Possibly,
I love
yeah.
that shit.
I like that.
Pakistani variant.
Dude,
The
that's
sexual
yeah.
Laddu, bro.
yeah, man. That's some
You should.
big shoes to fill, man. Do you feel the pressure of being the sexual chocolate of KPK?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's coming natural to me, right? It's just, I'm radiating that energy right now. I feel like I've earned that name quite easily. All I had to do is just put my playlist on the drives back from some of the
Oh
shows.
my
And
God.
here we
So
are.
is this the playlist that you put when you got like a honey in the car, you got like a little missus in the car? This is a playlist you put on, and you have your 3 best friends, the men of your faction
I have a
in
story.
pro wrestling, and then you sit
BSFK,
there.
bro.
I have a very, very
I'm
it's related to
disappointed.
this.
I
I'm
was
not going to name
disappointed.
names, but I remember when Haroon and I were, not saying we don't still pay our dues, but back when we weren't greenlit and we were paying our dues, we were asked to
Oh
pick up
no.
2 wrestlers from the airport, just me and Haroon. And on the way there, he decides to play The Weeknd. And, The Weeknd has very sensual songs. And I remember we were waiting by the arrivals for these like 2. I'm not going to name names, but these were big name wrestlers who were coming from the airport. And we were entrusted to make a good impression. I remember distinctly we were told, "Don't make asses of yourselves." This guy's playing The Weeknd in the car, and I look to him and I'm like, "Bro, are you trying to fuck them when they come into the car playing The Weeknd? Like, what is this?"
Oh my God.
You're just playing it like it's no big deal. I think, Haroon just likes that kind of music, which is fair, but you time and place. Time and place.
Yeah. I want some hardcore shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
No,
want
I'm
like gangster
guilty of
rap.
sometimes playing that particular playlist at the gym as well. And yes, George, that is the playlist that is usually played around the honeys. So
I love that.
mean, I don't
love
I don't really grasp the concept of time and place here. So I just kind of play what I'm
Listen, I feel that if you're in the car with 4 of your closest friends, what's wrong with little boys to men on bended knee? There's nothing wrong with that, gentlemen.
No, man.
Dude,
There
it's
is
a safe
something wrong with
it's a
it.
safe place.
No,
for me.
no, time
KPK
out,
is my
time
safe
out.
place. So
You're right. George is absolutely right. But when it goes on for 40 fucking minutes, then it's like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. There's got to be some variation.
Yeah, like throw in some Kodak or something. This guy was just straight, like, oh my
Lover
God.
songs.
well, we had some
Lover song
Migos
after
playing by
lover
the end
song
of it,
after
so
love.
Abu was happy.
Yeah, it was a whack ass Migos song. Like it was just I was just bad. It was, I don't know. Maybe I'm an old school guy and I
Okay.
like my old school music. Maybe I'm very biased. but
Listen,
it was
I have a
boring.
road trip playlist. Whenever I go to any bookings that I have a road trip playlist, okay? And it starts with my favorite jam right now, which is Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. That's how I start my road trip
Damn.
playlist, okay?
I like that. I
All
like
right?
that song.
Because I hate Drake in every facet. Well, before Kendrick, I've
damn.
always hated
You hear
Drake.
that, Haroon?
Damn.
You hear that,
You're a
Haroon?
good man. You're a good man, George.
Listen, you know what?
You're a good man,
I'm
bro.
all about Drake when he sings, but
No.
when he starts trying to rhyme, I can't do it. He sounds like
He
John
likes the
Cena's.
soft side of Drake too.
No, he sounds like John Cena's first album. Remember that? I'll brush
That
your
was
mouth
fire,
like
though.
Colgate. You'll
That was
never
a good
find me in
album.
the
Yeah.
There's some
next
good
man's
songs
sweater.
from that album.
There is some
Bro.
good songs, but I'm sorry.
That guy, you can't. Yo, John Cena's rap album, fire. It was going through the hood like hotcakes.
Actually, no. Now that I think about it, you know what? It's true. I got more bread
It's
than
ahead
a
of
Big
its time.
Mac. I mean, yeah, there was some
Yeah.
decent one-liners up in there. Yeah, you're right. I withdraw my statement. I'm sorry. I fucked up. John Cena's album was decent. It was decent. I apologize.
Yeah.
Word
apologize.
life.
Where's this guy? All right. So playlists aside, you guys talked about road
Fuck,
trip.
I guess I gotta do it too now.
Yeah. Okay. We'll all have to do it there. All right. So you guys talked about road trips and stuff like that, and the car rides being some of the funnest moments there and back from events, from shows, from bookings. What is it? Everyone always talks about the car rides. Everyone talks about sharing stories, cracking jokes, talking wrestling, talking strategy, talking
Can't share
whatever,
stories.
evolution of characters and stuff like that, or just in Karu's mind, obviously just shitting on everyone else in the car because it's hilarious to do that. But what is it about what do you guys enjoy most about the car rides? I mean, obviously the
This
playlist
video would
is
get
number
taken
one.
down, bro.
The,
If
the
we told
playlist
you.
is
Yeah,
number.
we're
Haroon's
not allowed
playlist is number
to.
one.
We're not
This
allowed to say
video would
any
get taken
specifics.
down, brother. If we talked about what we talked about on those car rides, your channel would go under. Like, you'd get
All right.
blackballed.
I
We'd
have
all
I
we'd all
have
get
I
blacklisted.
have something I enjoy about the car rides that isn't going to get us, in trouble.
Okay.
I feel like a testament to how great we are as a team in the ring is like our planning process together when we're in the car. I think we always figure out what we want to do when we're going to a show really quickly. We're so familiar with each other, like not just in terms of our like personalities, but how we are in the ring. I feel like sometimes Abu and I will be going to shows, 10 minutes, we already know basically what we want to do in the match. Uh,
Then
just a little bit of discussion and like because we all operate on very similar wavelengths, and we all complement each other really well in the ring and as people. So, yeah, like other than obviously all of the more funnier parts of the car ride, I think that's one thing I also enjoy. Maybe not the most, because I'm not gonna lie, I think the thing I enjoy the most is all the stuff I'm not allowed to really talk about, but the actual like the chemistry that we have in the car and how it carries over to the ring, I feel like that's pretty awesome too.
And that's
There's
why
like
you're
this
the most
too, like
eloquent. That's why you're the most eloquent speaker of the group. That was perfect. That was fire right there.
no, 100%. He's media trained. There's but also like the one thing too, like well, this is like me when I'm in the car. This is my number one rule. Like I don't want to always talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
Let's try to find something that we have in common to speak about because you're going to be in the car with someone for like 3 hours, 2 hours, maybe four, max. And then you're going to be at the show for another 4 hours. You're going to be just strictly involved in wrestling. So it'd be nice to like not talk about wrestling, know each other, you know what I'm saying? And then it does create for a better bonding team and it does create for a better bonding the car ride too, because then you get to know someone that you're in the car with. You might have hated that person until you actually speak to that person and you're like, oh fuck, we actually have things in common other than wrestling.
And that's how Crew joined the group, guys. That's how it happened. Everybody hated him,
Bullshit.
then they sat in the car with him, and they realized he wasn't that bad.
Honestly,
I'm reckless in the car ride.
yeah, he is. I
I'm
remember
reckless.
when I started, I wanted to team with Karu because everyone kept saying we looked similar, but I don't think I mean, I was new, so I don't think he took me as seriously then as he does now. Now
Bro,
he
Plus
look,
100, yeah.
I was the first one to tag with crew, bro. I was
Yeah,
like
you
thinking,
were.
they
You
put
were.
me in. It's a student show. They put me in with crew. I'm in my gear. I'm like, yo, sick. I'm with this vet. Like, this is cool. Crew's in his goddamn long ass shorts, his knee pads. And you will always find crew wearing his own damn merch. And sure enough, he's fucking wearing his merch in this match. We get through like the match. It's like a good match. I'm like super happy about myself. I'm getting pinned. I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I'm like, this motherfucker crew took 0 bumps.
Oh
I'm taking the
God.
damn finish. I'm like, yo, this guy just sunned me. What the hell?
He still does that, by the way.
His
That's not
favorite
even
thing to
half
do,
of it.
Carew will spin out and then like shit can himself like JBL
Yeah.
out of the ring. And it's
Crew's
just
very
the best thing
economic
ever.
that way. Very economic.
Because
that way.
you got to be smart, right? Like, you're not just going to bump for no reason. Like, if I'm going to bump it, it's going to have to make sense. Like, why am I
I mean,
bumping?
that's why, you're the biggest guy. You get to do that.
Yeah. And also, like, that match I'm never going to forget, too, because half the time you just kept hearing me, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck are they doing? Guys, slow it down. What the? And I'm just going ham. I'm like, yo, just tag me in, bro. What? I don't even know what's happening right now. Like, that's all you just kept hearing.
So, what would be the I guess the next evolution for KPK? Do we have a potential 5th member joining the ranks? Is there someone
We
you
got a
guys have
5th
your eyes
member,
on?
bro.
We would
got
love to
a
have
member,
one
man.
person.
Yeah.
Who's this 5th member?
Where's Australia?
I
Is it
don't-
the Atlantic? Where the fuck is it?
Well, we do have an unofficial,
Yeah.
official, unofficial. I wouldn't say unofficial, but an
Quiet.
honorary KPK member, the Clydesdale, the Aussie
Yeah.
Clydesdale, Claude
Okay.
Kane. He joined our ranks when again we needed someone to fill in for Haroon, and he you know very graciously decided to allow us to enact what we call the Clydesdale contingency. By the way, those promos that we filmed
I
for
love
that,
that.
the Clydesdale
Yeah.
contingency, and then the sequel to that, the Clydesdale catastrophe. Um, some of the most fun I've had filming a promo. Uh, but again, that's just good. Any member of KPK, even the honorary members, these are people that we have fun working with. We have fun being creative with. We have fun wrestling with. So other than the honorary member, Clydesdale, Clyde Kane, huge shout out to him, by the way.
Time out, yeah. Shout out Clyde Kane. I wish
Real
he could like
talk.
seek
Shout out
refuge
Kane.
here or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
please come
Like if
back,
only
man.
like
Milf Hunter.
Australia wouldn't take him.
I was just
Like,
gonna
he
say
could
that.
just seek refuge here.
The
But
real
oh
MILF
well.
Hunter.
Yeah, the real
The real-
MILF Hunter.
He's
Yeah,
That
that
was
guy.
a big part of the Clydesdale contingency. But I think other than him, I think it'd be cool if we found like, because I guess the obvious sort of trend here with all the members, except for the honorary member, Aussie Clydesdale, Clyde Kane, we're all brown boys.
Real talks.
We're all brown boys, and I think we've done a really good job of creating some positive representation
Mhm.
for Middle Eastern people, for Southeast Asian people in pro wrestling. Because whether we're heels or we're faces, I think we're just cool. Cool brown boys. I've said that before, but I want to keep that going. It'd be nice if we had a cool brown girl join the
Hell
ring.
yeah.
That's
That would
exactly
be
what-
fucking
Mhm.
awesome. Because we have tag team wrestling in our faction, trios wrestling. We can even do 8-man tags. We've done plenty of singles work. We have great promo guys. We need a woman, so we would love to have a woman. Hopefully I'm not being presumptuous here, but I think we would all like to have a women's wrestler as a part of KPK one
A sister
Yeah.
in the group. Hell yeah.
sister.
But she needs to be
Sister of
public. She
KPK, that's
needs to be like, she needs to look
No.
like this if she's gonna wrestle.
Yeah.
No, Karu, no.
Why does
Honesty is the best policy, right?
guys
Real
Modesty
talk.
is the best
don't
part.
let him talk? Don't let him
Oh,
talk.
The first-
anymore.
right?
the
We
first-
told
the
him
first
before we
wrestler to
came
not
on.
show
We're like,
ankle.
crew, please don't say anything fucking out of it. He already did. It took him like 20 minutes, but
It's
he held
okay.
out for 20.
You guys didn't want to talk about the car rides, but this shit alone, this segment
I
alone,
mean,
right
that's
here, when
like
this
a-
happened,
Oh,
Consider, you know what, George? Consider
is
that a
we-
little
we-
snippet of the car rides.
We
Consider
we
that a
can
little
talk
snippet.
about that because it's in our culture, right? Like
Well, it
we can
is in
talk
our
about
culture
it.
too,
Yeah,
but-
exactly. So it's nothing bad.
well,
You just have a sister like that.
all right, fair enough. Listen, I myself have a huge respect for your guys' culture. I love your guys' culture. I live in Brampton myself, born and raised. I've been in Brampton, literally 41
Mixing it up
years.
now.
We don't claim Brampton though. That's the
That's
Yeah, that's real talk.
I get you don't claim Brampton, but let's be honest, Brampton is definitely heavy.
Brown. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
it's
Yeah.
populated.
Yeah.
We'll say it
populated
for
heavy.
you, buddy. Don't worry.
It-
All right,
Yeah,
it's
it's
more.
okay, George.
It's more. It's more Ahmed and Haroon's people. Like
Wow,
Oh,
nice.
not
Our-
even.
our-
Like on
our
the
people
Nice.
are more away.
Oh my god, this whole I gotta edit all of this. I just gotta block him out of the screen. I just gotta put a black
Is there a way
screen
to
with
do
an
that?
X.
He's like a
but this
censor every
is
time he
that's
talks.
such an important part of this.
Jesus.
You gotta have a
Like,
content warning at the beginning of this interview.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to. I'm gonna have
Viewers
to. It's gonna have to be
discretion
me
is
at the beginning of this interview, being
He's
like,
starting to get comfortable.
I know. I've
warming
believe me,
up.
I've been down this rabbit hole. I've been down it. I'll
I
have
mean,
to
we
do.
already to be fair, George, we already said soft lover, MILF hunter.
It's true.
Karu's been talking about putting the only woman's member of the group in a niqab.
And you have to reiterate it. Thank you so much.
Well, hey, it's already happened, George. We just have to accept it and just
All right.
roll with the punches.
So
right?
here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I let Karu go from the room, and I just keep Haroon and Abu on the screen, and maybe Ahmed says goodbye as well, and we just go with you two for the rest
no.
of the interview.
No.
Abu and Haroon are
No,
not
no,
used to
time out,
teaming
the
up
breakout
together.
I'm done talking. No more.
All right,
talking.
listen. This has gone off the rails. Let's get it back. Let's get it back to what we were talking about. So yes, I think a female member would definitely add some depth and feel to KPK for sure. You talked about heel and face work, and I'm going to pose this question to Abu, and then I'd like to get Haroon's opinion as well, because I feel like they haven't talked too much. So when it comes to heel and face work, what do you guys enjoy more? Do you enjoy getting the heat from the crowd, or do you enjoy kind of being the heroes? I'm going to pose this to Haroon first. What do you got, Haroon?
Oh, okay.
I know Abu's gonna say the exact same thing. We love our heel work. I think is our best work easily, right? Just getting that like heat from the crowd is just like I live for it. And like a lot of times, like the last show that I accompanied the boys on for Toronto Wrestling Club, it was their inaugural show in Toronto. It was Abu and I ringside. These guys were having a tag match, and anytime like Abu tagged out, he was, down on the floor with me, and all the fans are standing and they're like crowding around the ring, and we had like a blast, just like, like fucking with all the fans there. There was like this one corner with like a bunch of girls, and they're like just yelling and screaming at the end of the match, and like we got a really good picture out of it. We stored it today, actually. It was Abu and I. This girl's just yelling, and Abu's just like, doing this pose where he's like trying to listen to what she's saying. I feel like we really live for that because, one of the things, like, truth be told, because of like, the fact that we are, a couple of brown boys, like there's usually that little stereotype that's always played, right? Promoters want to always book you as heels, but I feel like we've grown to really embrace that and enjoy that, not in the typical sense you would think that, oh, like, since we're brown people, we're gonna come out and do like typical brown people here, right? It's not that. It's just we're really like, full of ourselves, like egotistical, cocky young guys, just like, I'm on the side just trying to hit on the girls and like, making all these faces and making weird noises. Ahmed and Karu are kind of scary. And then Abu comes in, like he's super like, like Sebastian Suave, like going, whatever. So I think like just playing off of each other's dynamics and being like these bad guys has just been a lot of fun for us. And I mean, I personally enjoy that the most. So I'll pass it over to Abu, but I think he's probably gonna agree. So
Yeah, he hit it on the nail on the head for most of it. Just like, man, when I started, I hated like so damn much. I hated being like growing up. I don't remember a single baby face I liked. If they weren't a heel first, I did not fuck with them. Only reason I like Triple H as a baby face is like, all right, he had that run where he was like just a complete dick. But yeah, it's like I hate being a babyface, and then I feel like the crowd just likes us more. Like the more they see of us as a heel, the more they start liking us. So like Greed and like all our coaches will say the same shit to me, where it's like you will never be like a white meat babyface. Like the only way you will be a babyface is if the crowd like turns you, and then they'll like you. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I like. Like being a babyface, just I don't know. Like I can't do it. Can't be like that. Yay! Come on, hate that shit.
Hey, I've seen you do it. You did it a couple times at Beaverton. You did do it a couple
Bro,
times at Beaverton.
bro,
that
and those
was
were
an
long
amazing
nights,
run.
man. Those were
Yeah.
long ass nights.
You're not wrong. They were.
You have no idea. Like, dude, I would be in the car by myself. But you know what? Thankfully, Haroon had hooked me up with his playlist months before, so I was able to groove with the playlist. So I was good. I was good. I was good.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah. So you know what? Let's get everyone's perspective on this. Ahmed, what's your feeling on this? Are you in the same with your group members? Are you the same with the fact that you enjoy your heel work more?
So when I'm with these guys, I like being a heel way more. Because I feel like we get to let loose a lot more. Especially at that recent show, Toronto Wrestling Club. Huge shout out to those guys. They're, starting to run more shows in Toronto. I think that's awesome. But Toronto Wrestling Club, we went out there together, the three of us, and I think we let a little too maybe if this is just me speaking for myself, but we let loose. And I don't think you get to do that when you're a face. I feel like you have to conduct yourself a bit more as a face. But there is an artistry to being a face, I think. At least for me personally, uh when I'm a heel, I'm yelling at people, I'm berating them, I kind of feel like I'm my dad when I'm my dad when he gets angry at me. When I'm a heel. But when I'm a face, I feel like I'm good at creating sort of shifting the energy where it's like I'm not yelling at these people, but I'm yelling with them. I'm trying to get them to like get excited or feel my energy and like use that energy to like yell with me. I feel like um there's a certain artistry to being a face that I do like when I'm wrestling just by myself as like in singles. But when I'm oh, and also when I'm a face in tag matches, I get to do the hot tag a lot, and that's fun because I can just go fucking crazy. And but when I'm with these guys, I do prefer being heel. I do.
All right. I'm nervous about this, but I'm gonna ask Karu. What's your stance on all of this?
Honestly, I like being a heel more. Face is fun, but I feel like I'm already a nice guy in real life. So like, don't look at me like that. I kind of am, I'm kind of. I'm not saying I'm.
Oh, you're a nice
I
guy.
kind of, thank you. There you go. I am.
Yeah, you're a fucking
And,
sweetheart, bro. You really are.
Thank you. And then being a heel is just like at least I get to step away from that for a little bit, and I can just be a douchebag and all for fun, you know. And it's nice. Like there's a feeling you get when you're getting booed. It's a good feeling, honestly. It
Yeah.
sounds weird, but like it's actually it's a great feeling. And like we all know wrestling is I'm not gonna say the R word, but so coming out and automatically like seeing everybody just boo you when you don't have to do much because they're just literally looking at your outfit, literally does half the job for you. You know what I mean? And it's nice. Like it's fun.
You know what? You wouldn't be the first wrestler that I've had a conversation with that has actually said that again, it's the cliche saying of any reaction is a reaction as long as you're getting that reaction. If you walk out there and it's quiet like it's church, you got a problem. You really got to
Yeah.
concern yourself as to what's going to happen. But if you walk out there and the crowd is hot, whether it's a good hot or a bad hot, as long as they're getting a reaction, then you've already done the most important job that you can do. And the rest of it is just coasting. If they're paying attention to you, whether it's in a negative reaction or a positive, they're paying attention. And that is the most important thing. So
And honestly, I find sorry to cut you off. I find like being a big foreign heel, not a heel guy, just being a big foreign wrestler, it's kind of even hard to just come off as a babyface right away. I kind of feel like because no matter what, they're just gonna look at you and be like, oh, he already looks different. He's probably the heel. Let's just boo him anyways. You know what I mean? So like it just happens. It's just good. It's positive. I don't know. I like it. It's fun.
Shit,
I
bro.
I don't have to do much of the work.
Shit. All that being said, bro, if you're a promoter, you can still book me as a babyface. I'll do it.
Yeah, we can do
Yeah.
everything and anything you want.
That's true.
You'll be
Good job for saying
serious.
that on Boo. Real talk. Stick up for saying
I
that.
will
Yeah.
say that. I will say that. I will say that now, I mean, being 10 years in the podcasting game, which is literally this September will be 10 years Straight Talk Wrestling has been around. It's guest.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
congrats on
that.
Did it.
Thank you. I honestly, it's having guests like you guys that make it fun and make the conversations. Like I had a crappy day at my shoot job, but I came to this conversation. I was actually really excited. Then Carew started
Oh, that's
talking,
good.
and it went down a little bit, but then the energy's back up. The energy's back up. No. But
The
you
root
guys,
taking praise
honestly,
here.
seeing, you know what? I have followed your guys' career for quite a bit. Like I think I've watched your debut match at one of the Battle Art shows that I was at. KPK came out
Damn.
together, which was very cool. I've been able to call some of your matches at different promotions, which has been awesome and fun as well. But the most exciting thing is seeing how you guys have progressed. And I want to say, now that you're all green lit and everybody does have the green light, Carew, this song would obviously pose to you too. Is training on a regular still something that you guys try to do? I mean, Haroon, I know you're in recovery and I know you're getting back in there. So obviously you're definitely training to get ring ready again. But is everyone still training on a regular basis to keep their game? Like basically iron sharpens iron. So are you guys all keeping up on what you need to do to be the best you are in the ring?
I'll take this one, bro. So there's like, I'm sure it's with everyone, but like Ahmed and I especially, if we don't get like at least one class in a week,
Oh God.
like, and it's before a show, Ahmed will be like, oh, like I need to come to this class because like I'm gonna feel like a shitter. I feel like I'm regressing. He's like, I like, are you gonna come this week? I'm like, yeah. Like right now, like my neck is a little jacked up, so I haven't been to class in a while. But like usually, if we don't make like at least one class, it's like you go to the show and you're like, shit, can I still do this? It's at least for Ahmed and I. It's just like you need like those reps. That's why like I can't just like go on hiatus and not like train because like you said, iron sharpens iron. If you're not constantly sharpening that blade, it's gonna go dull.
And at least specific to our case as well, we train down at Battle Arts, and we'd be stupid to not take advantage of the resources we have there because we get to train with some of the best, if not the best
The
wrestlers
best, bro.
in the you know what? I'll even say it, the best wrestlers in the country. We get to train with guys like Shane Saber, Gabriel Fuerza, Mark Wheeler, Lexi Nicole, John Greed, and sometimes Brent Banks will show up. Brent Banks is a legend out here, and it's like we'd be stupid not to take advantage of those resources. We're greenlit and we've been at it for about 3 years now, and we've learned a lot, but we have so much more to learn. And it doesn't just come from going to training every week. That's a huge part of it, though. A good buddy of ours, Rajan Husher, has said on many occasions, this is a
That
Jake the Snake
motherfucker,
Robert.
bro.
Yeah, this is a
Take this
Jake
Nick
the Snake
Husher.
Roberts, not a quote, but this is something he would say is that it takes 5 days for ring rust to develop. And ever since he planted that little tidbit in my head, I always am just literally counting the days. I'm like, all right, I got to make sure I don't get 5 days in between my last rep in ring and my next one. You know, it's like I can't let that happen. But a big part of the learning process as well is learning from all sorts of different people. You know, I mean, we started with before we have the current coaches that we have now. You know, we started with guys like Asylum Stone Rockwell, and he taught us a lot of stuff as well. Anthony Corelli, Santino, he taught us a lot of stuff. Karu got to learn under Yuki Shikawa, a very, very unique but very like well-respected style of wrestling, shoot style that was popularized in Japan under Battle Arts. That's the bachi bachi style. It's been given different names. But recently Abu, myself, and Rajan went to the UK, and we got to learn under the tree of some of the best UK wrestlers, guys like Danny Jones, Brendan White, Wild Boar Hitchman, Mark Andrews. We got to learn under that tree in the UK, and we picked up a lot of very useful stuff there as well. And we're gonna keep doing stuff like that because I think in wrestling you never stop learning.
Of course. You don't.
Yeah, it just feels wrong. Like a week where I'm not training just feels wrong. I'm just like, bro, what the hell?
Oh, for real.
It feels empty. It feels like
I
there's
feel
a
like a
void.
I feel like a shitbox. I since I moved, I've barely been training in the ring. It's not
Well,
fun.
then that's on you. That's your fault.
Yeah.
Nobody
Hey,
told
I
you to
never.
move. Nobody told you to go that way. So you know what? I don't feel any kind of way about you because if you want it bad enough, you'll do with these other three men in your team. I can see who's
Yeah.
putting in the work.
Damn.
Yeah, he's
I can
calling
see
you
it.
out, bro.
I
We
can
need
see
George
it.
Mackay versus Crew at the
Hey,
next battle.
That's
Oh, no.
crazy.
Listen,
You know
George
what,
has
though?
George has
It's okay. I
about
still
8
work
minutes
out.
of fight left in him, and I'm using that 8 minutes for when I'm like, when I got a gun to my face. That's where
Eight
the
minutes
eight
That's what
is
minutes
she
is
longer
coming
than
said.
when I got. God damn.
from. Jesus, I tell
Hey,
you.
George,
Listen, I
just know I'll crush you, huh? I'll crush you. I'll crush you with these hands, brother.
Are you still talking?
Of
I can't believe you're still talking. I don't know what's happening here. We moved on already.
course.
We've moved on to other portions of the conversation. But
Wow.
I will say this: two more questions. I'm going to let you gentlemen go enjoy the rest of your evening. But this has been amazing, and I want to let you guys know now that you are officially, finally, after 18 months, officially now members of the Straight Talk family. So anytime you guys want to come
Yeah,
back
yeah.
together, or you want to
Let's
come
do
back
it.
separately, anytime you got something you want to promote, or anytime you want to carry on the conversation, please do come back.
What a
Now,
plan for
appreciate
volume
that,
two.
George.
Respect.
now these last two questions, this is where we get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation. This is
Oh,
where
no.
things get really tricky.
Ooh.
If a promoter books all four of you to take on each other, who wins that match?
Oh God. You know what?
I'll
I
do
have an
rock, paper,
answer.
scissors.
I
It
do
has to
this
be
with
rock,
every
paper, scissors.
faction. I love to see who's really got the ego. I love it. I love it.
Honestly, bro, I think it's probably Crew.
It's probably Karu.
That's gonna
Or
win it. Of
a
course, it's
dark
gonna
horse
be me.
pick. A dark horse pick is Haroon.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I might just go out with a little.
Haroon really is the dark horse pick in many respects, not just
No fact.
in a match scenario, but in life.
I'll tell you
You
this
never
right
know
now.
what.
I'll tell you this right now. Sorry to cut you off. If Haroon comes out in that fatal four-way and he comes out to the weekend, it's over. Haroon is my pick.
No, I mean
Oh,
He's
you.
yeah.
winning.
Well, there's one
That's a
particular
superpower.
song. I'm gonna put it out there. If Haroon ever comes out to "Wait for You,"
By Drake and Future.
but by Drake and Future,
Yeah.
if he ever comes out to that song, I know it's over. I know
Yeah.
it's at least over for me.
I want
And
to
I won't
strangle
elaborate,
you.
That
but
Drake
that
album
song.
sucked, bro.
I
Terrible.
want to
A
strangle
little
you,
bit,
bro.
kinda.
I want to
God
strangle you,
awful,
Haroon.
bro.
But in terms of like, pure like skill set and like, experience edge, I mean, look, I've seen Karu, people don't know this about Karu. He can do the graps. He can grapple.
he can
doesn't
boogie,
just
bro.
hit hard, doesn't just pick people up
Oh
and
my
slam 'em.
God, bro.
This
Let
guy
No,
me
can,
tell
listen,
you-
he's talented as fuck. He is. But if you
Uh-uh,
build
man.
up
and
his
he's nimble
ego,
too.
if you build up, yeah, but if you say that he's agile and you say that he's talented and you say that he does all these amazing things, all he does is sit there and go, facts, fam, facts. And it's like, I don't want to build up this motherfucker's ego anymore. I don't.
Bro, you
But
don't.
And
Bro,
it's better than me saying facts and appreciating it than me actually building up my own ego. I'm
I
a
have
humble guy,
literally
George.
said
Just
some of
know
the
that.
nicest things to you, and when I see you at a
Yeah,
show, you'll be like, "Yo, what?" And you'll walk by
Hey,
me.
He
you
does it
know
to
what,
everybody though.
George? To play
I,
devil's advocate, George, you
he's a
can't
high
fall for that
guy,
trick.
bro.
He does that
Crew's
on
a high
everything.
guy, bro.
I fall for that
I'm a
trick quite a
sober
bit.
guy. I don't even
I
smoke
fall for
weed.
that trick. I do fall for that trick. You know why? Because he loosed me in, and I'll say, "No, I'm not going to do it," and he'll be like, "No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this time." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And I go to do it, and he fucking does it again.
You're
Oh, he
lucky
does
you
that
didn't
to
fall for the
everyone.
smelling salts gimmick. That's the worst
Oh
one.
my god, bro!
Oh
I
And
felt
God.
my
I've
eyes come out
made
of
you
my
beware.
head.
He's gonna bring like a little like thing with like the smelling salts and just put it right under your nose. It's happened to me before backstage, and there's like explosions in my head.
Oh
Like
my
Feel your
god!
eyes
because you take
come
a big
out,
whiff of it,
bro.
he's like, "Here's what's this," and you're like, because he's covering it with his hand. You don't know what it is. You just trust him, right? Because he's like a big like teddy bear, and like you're like, yeah, he's not gonna try to kill me here. Take a big like little inhale, and you're just like about to die because like there's all this like nukes dropping in your brain. Like I don't even know how to like react to that. Like the smelling salts are just
Be fair, when I'm driving home, because I live 2 hours away from you guys, which you guys would never come visit me, because you guys, well, not you, you guys would come visit me, but George would never come visit me. He hates me, bro. But I'll smell smelling salt and drive
That's
to
so
wake me
fucked
up.
up.
Yeah,
That's so
that's
That's
fucked
Yeah.
up.
crazy.
yeah.
So but it's better than dying, right?
No,
Yeah, I
100%.
mean,
I mean, that's exactly the same thing that the guy who fell through the gardener was doing a couple days ago, smelling salts. So good for you.
No, he was doing bath
huh?
salt. There's
No,
something
he
different.
wasn't doing bath salts. He was drunk off his ass. Did you hear that when he fell through the gardener, he literally crawled out from the driver's window while the car was flipped up, finished his bottle of liquor while the cop showed up? Yeah, only in Toronto.
That's a G, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I
I
mean,
love Toronto.
Toronto is just a
I'm
special
glad I'm
class.
gone.
Toronto's a
Toronto is
special
I,
something
class.
else.
It is.
I
It
live in
is.
San Francisco. This is my balcony view.
You absolutely do not live in San Francisco.
Jeez.
You don't live in San Francisco.
He
Okay, so
hustled for this week.
final question. This is a big one. Final question. In terms of KPK's growth and evolution, we've talked a lot about that. We talked about learning trees. We talking about keeping iron, sharpening iron, all these things. What are some short-term goals for KPK as a unit? Obviously, Haroon getting back in the ring full time is definitely
100%.
up there for sure, 100%. And then more promotions you guys want to hit? Are you planning to go more outside of Canada, more outside of Ontario to try to lay the KPK flag in as many different provinces and locations as you possibly can?
Um,
Literally, yeah.
who wants to go first? I think we should each say something.
All right, let's go with the person who I think is the most respectful on the show.
Intellectual.
Yeah, Haroon, you go first, buddy.
Oh, no, wow, okay.
Plot
That's a lot.
twist.
I'll take it as a compliment though. For me, I mean, yeah, like the most immediate goal is obviously getting back in the ring. Just catching up with all the lost time, and then just continuing on with the boys. Getting back involved in like singles, tag matches, trios, whatever. One of the other goals I had, and I know I've spoken to Ahmed about it on a couple of drives recently. I mean, these guys were in the UK. Obviously, they did a great job there. I've seen some of like the matches and stuff they were doing is fantastic. So within a year or two, like because they want to go back again, and I'd love to go back. Not go back, but like go for the first time with them to the UK to learn and be under that learning tree that these guys were in. Because I know a couple of the guys from the UK have come here and done seminars. I've been to like one of them. I think this was probably last year, but like I kind of have an idea of like what to expect there, and I'm really looking forward to like hopefully be able to join these guys and be able to go to the UK and like train there and learn, and hopefully maybe get involved in some matches or two, and then that's definitely a goal of mine within the next year or so, hopefully, as I'm progressing and healing up.
I love that. Ahmed, you're up, buddy.
Yeah, so last year, or at least for the past 12 months, I'll say, right? Boo and I have had the chance to wrestle a lot of pretty high profile opponents. We got to wrestle Sinner and Saint twice, and I think
Shout out.
yeah, huge shout out. Those matches, I think we learned a lot from those matches, and we added a lot. I remember between that first Sinner and Saint match and that second Sinner and Saint match, we added a lot to our repertoire to be ready, because after that first one we knew what we were in for the second one. But even other than those guys, we got to wrestle Locked and Loaded recently. We got to wrestle Fight or Flight and Alpha One. We got to even share the ring with Tarek and Brent Banks. Steady Ballers. I want to wrestle more experienced tag teams, not just with Abu, but even Karu and I. Are one of our first tags together was against Spitfire Jody Thread and Danny Luna, and that was a really fun match to have as one of your first tag matches. And I feel like getting to wrestle teams that are experienced in the art of tag team wrestling, you learn so much from wrestling those specific teams. There's a lot of teams out here, but the ones that are really experienced and are like battle tested on, not necessarily even on television, but just like all over the world. I want to wrestle teams like that. On a personal note, I would like to go to Japan to train and to wrestle. The UK trip was a lot of fun. I wanna be able to do something like that. In Japan, which is a lot harder. From my understanding, it's a lot harder to get to Japan than it is to get into the UK. But honestly, even another UK trip would be great. But I just want to travel more for wrestling. I think learning different wrestling cultures as well. That's a short-term goal of mine. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Two solid
Go ahead,
answers. Let's
ahead,
keep
Cruz.
let's keep the amazing answers going. Abu, come on, man.
Oh,
you
shit,
gotta
okay.
go with this flow, bro. Don't just
Yeah,
sit
just
there
like-
and be like, hey, I want a cheeseburger. Come on, man. I know you got some flow in you, bro. Come on.
The freaking what Ahmed said, like going more stateside, wrestling more like established teams, because like you learn from working guys like your experience too, but when you're wrestling guys that are like better than you and that much better than you learn just that much more. So definitely that. My UK experience, I was fucking hacking up loogies the entire time. So like if we could do another one and I could go back there in my current state, I would enjoy that. Because man, I was just so sick when I was down there. I was just like dying the entire time. It was a real good time for me.
Doesn't
Like,
sound
yeah,
like it
no.
at all. Does it? But I'm glad you're on the men. And now, not saving the best for last, but saving the biggest member for last. Crew, you're up.
So basically same thing that Amu touched on. Travel more, get more experience. And honestly, like if we can do it in the short term, just try to get KPK out there more. You know what I'm saying? We can actually turn this. We're the only group where we have a mixture of. I'll just say we're all basically from the Middle East. We're in South
Yeah.
Asia, so it's like we can turn this into like literally sounds funny, but the four horsemen of South Asia.
Hell
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And just
Yeah.
have it us four.
Let's
Like,
put up the 4, guys.
yeah, legit. Why not? You know what I'm saying? We're doing something different. There's not much of us, our people out there wrestling, and it'd be good to get us out there more and pave the way for a newer generation to come in and that basically look like us.
And like an 8-man tag before the year is over.
Oh,
what
yes,
I want.
please.
Yeah, that would be.
8-man
Oh
tag.
god,
8-man
I think that's
tag.
doable.
There's not
I'd
a
be
lot
ready
It
of
is
for that.
doable.
companies are very hesitant to book 8-man tags. It's a lot of money, but if there's a company out there that books
We
the
would
4 of
cook,
us
bro.
against some
We
4
would
solid
cook.
opponents,
Hell, even I feel like my first match should be an 8-man tag back.
I
'Cause then,
would.
That'd
it
be lit.
distributes all of that and makes it a little easier for me too. Coming back after so long. But
Rising
You're taking-
stars, bro. Whoever
you're
runs
taking-
that can book that.
Yeah.
Well, I do work for a couple of promotions that you guys haven't made your debuts at yet. Maybe we could use a little KPK and New Frontier. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
we
You
would.
could,
We
bro.
would actually love to work for New Frontier.
Real shit.
That's one of those companies we haven't hit yet that we definitely want to get to.
Shout out NFT. I don't know if they call themselves NFT, but
NFT.
NFT,
Is NFT like
New
a gimmick?
Frontier, bro.
Isn't
Isn't that a
NFT like the things
non-fungible
you?
token?
Yeah, it's a non.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the thing Haroon spent all of his life savings on.
Whoa, hold on, but what?
No, I'm kidding. That was-
Okay.
he throws out these allegations. I
All
gotta
right.
go.
allegations.
I thought you were gonna say like he bought one of those like I watch a lot of TikTok videos of people opening up cards, and there's people that spend like 16 grand on a box and they get nothing.
Goddamn.
And the one
That's
one
me.
time I watched this one guy, he opened up cards. He's like, I'm looking for a Messi rookie. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna get it. He doesn't hit it, and he's like, I'm gonna kill myself. And I'm like, Jesus,
Yeah,
it's
jump
not
off that San
serious,
Francisco bridge, bro, behind Carew.
Right
Yeah,
here.
Golden Gate
So-
Bridge.
Come check me my condo. Come to my condo.
But gentlemen, I will say this: 18 months, it was worth it. It was an incredible conversation, which I knew it was going to be. So I want to thank all you guys for taking the time out. because I
Thank
know
you
it's
for
not-
having us,
I know
George.
it's not
Thank
easy.
you,
much,
George.
Thank you so much for
We were
having
just waiting for Carew to join the ranks. That's why it took 18 months,
Yeah.
okay?
We
That's
wanted
true.
to give you. You know what? We wanted to
The
give
full
you
experience.
KPK in full force.
Hell
We
yeah.
Okay.
didn't want to give you a half-assed KPK.
So
you
this
know?
is like the Super
No.
Saiyan form of KPK. I love it.
Not
Yeah.
yet, bro.
Exactly.
We don't got
Or
Clyde. Once
soon.
we get
Well,
Clyde, that's
Clydesdale would be the
Saiyan.
Super Saiyan God form.
Exactly.
Okay.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, it's true. It's
And
true.
then
Well,
Mustafa Ali would be super safe, super safe, super safe.
Yeah,
To my favorite milk
Fuck
hunter
it.
and yours, this has been KPK. Ladies and gentlemen, Haroon, Ahmed, Abu, and Karu. That's it for this one, guys. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next time.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Keith.
Yo. We just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the four ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.